Hi, this is Professor Claire Ginger. I'm the program director for the Natural Resources curriculum, which offers students the opportunity to earn a Bachelor of Science in Natural Resources at the Rubenstein School of Environment and Natural Resources at the University of Vermont. I'd like to take this time to provide you with an overview of this program. It's an academic path for students in the Rubenstein School who'd like to tailor their studies in one of three options. You may choose to study resource ecology, or resource planning, or integrated natural resources. In each of these options, students take introductory courses in natural and social sciences, and then choose upper level environment and natural resources courses that are offered both inside and outside the Rubenstein School at the University of Vermont. In addition, we strongly encourage, although we don't require, internships and study abroad. I'd like to go through each of the options and talk about what the opportunities are in each. In the resource ecology path, students are studying the ecology of plants and animals and terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. They might be looking in on one kind of system, forests, wetlands, lakes, or streams, although many of our students are doing a cross-section of this, interested in an array of ecological systems and how they interact. In addition, the students in resource ecology may be considering the dynamics of species within the communities that they occupy, the habitats, and also look at the landscape and more global level interactions that are affecting the ecology of those systems. In the resource planning option, the students here are studying the interactions among individuals, communities, and society with the environment. So they might be looking at how communities are intersecting with the environment at the crossover between developed and undeveloped areas, looking at group processes, the community processes by which people make decisions, doing some mapping kinds of exercises or community design activities. Some of the students are very interested in government and focusing on policymaking processes. And then finally, there's a group of students who are really focused on the intersection of economy and environment. And those students have a great opportunity to study with this folks involved with the Gund Institute. In all of these cases, students have the opportunity to look at these interactions at local, state, national, and global scales. In the integrated natural resources path, students are each creating their own program in consultation with their advisor. These are students who want to study things that aren't really established within our existing programs. So for example, a student who's interested in environmental education will design a program that includes the combination of natural history and ecology, the material that they'd like to teach, along with education tools and methods. And that usually will involve some kind of an internship where they're combining the two. Other students have become quite interested in the intersection of energy issues along with ecological aspects of carbon and climate emissions, and then what it means to do social planning to address those issues. And then finally, there are those students who are interested in the general concepts of sustainability and in what it really means to bring together society, economy, and environment. The opportunities that this degree provides includes finding academic minors around the UVM campus to focus on. The natural resource students on average have there's a greater number of students who are minoring in some other field beyond the Rubenstein School or even within the Rubenstein School than the other majors in the school. For example, many of our students are pursuing the geospatial technologies minor. Some have chosen the green building and community design minor. There are those students in the resource ecology path who've gotten quite interested in plants and so pursue a plant biology minor, or in the geological processes out there and they minor in geology. And then within the Rubenstein School, there are those students who really want to have a fair amount of information and knowledge around wildlife or forest systems. On the resource planning path, the students often find interest in the community and international development minor in the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. Some of them are interested in geography, human geography issues. There are those who have taken the path of getting a minor in political science. Often those are the students who are perhaps headed towards policy or law careers. And then there's a number of students who've been interested in pursuing a minor in sociology. Now, I want to emphasize this is not required. It's just that the program lends itself to finding and pursuing a minor in the university. The students in the resource planning path have a wonderful opportunity to take advantage of the agreement between the University of Vermont and the Vermont Law School for the 3+2 program. In this special program, these students will pursue 3 years or 6 semesters worth of coursework at UVM in resource planning, completing most of their requirements at UVM, and then moving on at the end of their junior year to become a student at the Vermont Law School and study often environmental law, the area of environmental law at the Vermont Law School. And in this context, what they do is go for 2 years at the Vermont Law School. At the end of the first year, they transfer some of those credits from Vermont Law School back to UVM, and they get their Bachelor of Science degree in the 4th year of their overall studies. We have a great partnership with the Vermont Law School, and anyone who's interested in that, I always encourage them in their first year to look into this opportunity. And then I wanted to comment that this major, like many of our majors, are really study abroad and internship friendly. The programs that are offered through the SIT, through Copenhagen DIS, through the School for Field Studies, for EcoQuest, Round River, these programs offer coursework that is really in line with our goals in the natural resources major. And so the coursework that you take while study abroad will transfer back and count towards some of your requirements. And then the internships that the school has cultivated and that the students might find on their own are often also compatible with meeting academic requirements in the program. And while these are not required, they are opportunities that many students take advantage of. Now, I'd just like to take a moment to talk about beyond college. The students who earn a Bachelor of Science in Natural Resources are prepared for various positions in the environmental field. And here I've just listed a few of some of the job titles students might look for. Those coming out with a resource ecology focus will be prepared for a natural resource specialist position, an ecologist position, an environmental research technician. Those coming down the path of resource planning may become an environmental planner, a regional planner, a policy analyst. Those coming down the integrated path might be prepared for any number of these positions and others. And then those, for example, doing the environmental education focus would be prepared as an outreach education coordinator or an environmental educator. The data that we've gathered have indicated that students coming out with this degree aren't really finding jobs in just one sector. They're in the whole array of sectors, including the government sector, government agencies, or perhaps in legislative positions. The for-profit sector, this would be the businesses that are looking for people with these backgrounds to contribute to their sustainability efforts. And then the nonprofit arena, for example, many of our environmental groups would be looking for students in any of the paths that the natural resources curriculum offers. Many of our graduates go on for graduate and professional studies. They might go on for a master's or PhD in ecology. There are a range of master's programs and some PhD programs in sustainability studies, and you'd be well positioned for applying for those degrees. And then the students coming down the resource planning path are very much prepared for applying to law school, public policy and administration programs, and urban and regional planning programs. I hope this has offered you some insight into the natural resource curriculum and the Bachelor of Science degree in the Rubenstein School in Natural Resources. If you do have questions, please feel free to contact me. My email address is fairly straightforward, just my first initial and last name, cginger at uvm.edu. And I'll be happy to arrange a time to talk to you, whether it's via email or through some remote means at this time. And I look forward to perhaps seeing you in the fall, and wish you good luck with your decision making around your actual degree focus as you move on to college. Thank you.